Hey guys, what's good? You're watching Cat's Corner episode 17.
It's a late edition. We had somebody shall remain nameless over here had to throw us some sickness in the equation, but we're all good. He's healthy and we're happy to have him, right, baby G? So yeah, but it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Avengers is out. Everybody's losing their minds over this movie.
Yeah, some of you already watched it. Some of you haven't watched it yet. If you already watched it and you want to check out our review Daniel and I did last night, check out that link right there. And if not, check out Monday. Kat and I are going to be talking about it as well.
Throw my 2 cents in there too.
And kind of discuss fan theory as well. But this week in comics, man, this week I feel like the biggest book this week, we're going to do things a little different this time. And,
right.
The biggest book this week is probably Hunt for Wolverine, right?
Right. And that's because we have Logan back, which, I mean, we knew he was going to come back, and especially with the Disney Fox deal coming through, you know, all that stuff's going to get rehashed in and organized, so that way, you know, we get stories and a flow again to the X-Men universe. And again, we saw it with Infinity, the first issue of in Marvel Legacy. Yeah. We saw that he's back, and then in Infinity Countdown, he's running around with the Power Stone, I believe, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, it was a good read, man. I read it and I'm like, okay, it's Wolverine. I mean, you get a sense, at least I got a sense that, and I've been reading the X-Men books, and I think I've said it before. It's like you can see a kind of like not a renaissance, but just Marvel going, you know what? Okay, we're making these books good again.
Right.
We're focusing on the X-Men.
They're starting to put effort into it. Yeah, for sure.
And it was a good read.
I mean, we've said it before in other episodes, but it's a commentary on how important the cinematic universe is to Marvel Disney, where they phased out people because they didn't have the rights to it. But now that they're getting the rights back,
months away.
I mean, if unless you just started reading comic books in the last 5-6 years, you know, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s at all, you'll know that the X-Men carried Marvel for years. You know,
man, yeah.
Followed by Spider-Man. So I mean, I think. And I feel the X-Men have always been the most popular characters for the longest time.
Right. You know, and then Spidey, and then you had, I mean, the Avengers were solid too, but not in the category where the X-Men
No,
were.
Definitely not.
You know, and you had.
I mean, it's a testament to what Kevin Feige and Disney Marvel has done with the cinematic universe, where they made Iron Man and Captain America these huge entities when they were not the most popular. They're towards the back end of popularity in the Marvel
They were
universe.
solid, but again, it wasn't that wasn't Captain America wasn't the book that you're gonna run to. Right. It was gonna be an X-Men book, or you know, again, what you had the X-Men by Jim Lee, or the Uncanny X-Men with Willis Portacio, that whole rehashing of stuff, and then, you know, but then the movies played a lot of role in the decisions and how they focused, and you had you kind of start seeing a lot of that in the early days with Heroes Reborn, to where, you know, you had people like Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld given reins of titles like Avengers and Captain America, you know, Fantastic Four, to bring that up, but it was mostly Avengers and Captain America, and you know, paid off right now with the movies. I mean, because it's some good stuff out there. So I mean, I'm shooting for Sunday on this movie. I mean, I just it's gonna be insane. So you know, so it's you got the one shot, and they're not gonna give it to you right away, and you're gonna have, you know, a whole mystery of how, you know, you're gonna have Weapons Lost, the Adamantium Agenda, Claws of the Killer, and Mystery Man Pro. I'm pretty sure with a bunch of other things, kind of like the same way when they killed him, they gave you the whole chase, where's Logan, which is fine. You know what? As long as it's solid storytelling, and I think it's the same people that killed him, Charles Soule, right? I believe he's the one that did that.
Not sure.
You know, but it's flawless from the death.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine. You know, I read it. You got, and you know, it was a good read. It was really, actually, I mean, the whole how they pull how I don't want to ruin it for people, but it was a really good read, really solid. You know, involved the whole X-Men cast. They touched up on their relationship over the years, and you know, it's going in a good direction.
Yeah,
you know, it's in a solid reading direction. Fans will be glad. Okay, we like Old Man Logan, we like X-20 Laura's Wolverine, but man, can't be Logan.
No,
you know, so adamantium and all.
That's the guy.
You know, and again, we're doing different because we're not doing the picks because we're late, and I got a chance to read some of these books. Avengers, No Surrender, at the end of.
That's the end of that.
That's the end of the Avengers run.
Right. Well, they're starting.
They're giving Jason. Yeah, Jason. Now, it's kind of, one of the things that's kind of weird is, I mean, you have so many titles right now hitting that century mark, not century, but the big 0-0 number, and they're 10 away from, like, they're ending that at 690. I'm like,
it's a little odd.
I was like, dude, just give me 10 more weeks of event, and let's do a 700. But I'm sure there's a plan why they did it. But it was a cool.
You think maybe they did it because they want to be different from DC, since DC has all these round numbers coming out?
Well,
recently,
maybe, I don't know. I mean,
the Action Comics 1000 came out. Then you had, you had a Batman 700 or.
Well, but that's the thing. DC didn't do anything because the only thing they did was on their variant covers they threw the cover with 800, like Flash 800, but there was nothing special about it.
Right.
You know, Marvel's actually. I mean, again, I'm reading the Bendis Iron Man, and it sucks because you can tell, like. Because again, he's pretty much. I mean, it's like I'm pretty sure they knew this deal was going to be done at least a year and a half ago. So you can tell that he's just like, oh, I just want to be done with it. It's like, wow, are you that upset?
So you're telling people not to read it?
Oh no, it's a good read. But again, it's no different than any other Bendis story. I mean, but it's interesting to see because he has a knack about deconstructing the heroes and then building them back up, and to see that, to finally see the end of it, you definitely, but you get that sense of, it's like, yeah, you just want to be out of here. You're upset. Your ego got hurt, and you just want to move on. I mean, which sucks because
he has a sensitive ego. I've mentioned it before. He blocked me on Twitter, so
but Iron Man's gonna end with 600. So that's you do Avengers at 690, but you won't pull it to 700. But you do Iron Man at 600. Mighty Thor, man. I've been saying the Jane Foster storyline, and I've been saying Jason Aaron is a beast when it comes to this godhood storytelling. I've loved his stuff from God of Thunder and all the stuff he's done, and this last issue doesn't let me down. I mean, it was, again, I don't want to spoil it for the people that haven't read it, but it's I'm like, wow. I mean, it's not even 706, but it's sorry, I'm balancing Baby G right here, guys. But it's a solid story. It's a solid ending to the Jane Foster storyline. Now we're gonna get Odin's son again as Thor,
right?
And
we're starting to see all the original characters coming back.
And it's a great story, Old Man Hawkeye, man, that book is. I was talking about it with one of my customers yesterday, and he's like, he mentioned the fact that, although it's not Millar, it feels like literally it fell out of the Millar run.
Right.
So the Sachs, I've never, I don't know if he's done anything before.
He's definitely studied the Old Man.
But you can tell he is Ethan Sachs. You can tell he's. It literally it falls off the Old Man Logan storyline.
Right.
So 12 issues of this, I think it's a good solid. Investment, a story investment, you know what I mean? And you got Chichetto artwork, and it's like, it's phenomenal. This kid's insane, panel after panel, and just to see some of the characters, and again, it literally feels like I'm reading Old Man Logan. Thanos Annual, Donny Cates. It's a mishmash of stories, but it's a setup for, and it ends. You see a background on Thanos, and you see more history behind him and Gamora and all that, but it sets up the Space Ghost Rider. Is a Space Ghost Rider storyline with Frank Castle as Ghost Rider, and And it's just, dude, I read this, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for that read.
So, I mean, that's something that if you haven't got your hands on Thanos, is it 13?
Yeah, 13.
If you haven't got your hand on Thanos 13,
get it now.
Get it now, because it's just going to keep going up. It's
especially with this
character.
miniseries coming
Donny
out.
Cates
Donny
is killing
Cates,
it.
Yeah. I put on my Instagram the variant that I had. I sold it 2 days ago, $350, like just like that. I was like,
is this the 1 in 25 too?
No, it's a 1 in 10. But nobody ordered the book because nobody increased their orders for 13.
Right.
Everybody was still operating on the Lemire numbers.
Right.
So
the print run.
The print run on
tiny
that book,
print
it's
run
tiny
on that,
print.
yeah.
That book's gonna keep going, issue after issue. I mean, you have the end of Venom.
Does Marvel have the rights for Ghost Rider? MCU?
I believe so. I think it came back to them.
Okay.
Because they're doing that.
They use them on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They use them, but they use Jamie Reyes. But still, yeah.
Right.
You have the end.
Maybe they're saving Johnny Blaze for
something.
Yeah. I mean, let's not talk about those Nicolas Cage movies.
Yeah. And then you have Venom, which is ending the current run, and you're setting up for Donny Cates again.
Sidebar. So you can check out a reaction to the Venom trailer right here.
Oh yeah.
You checked out the Venom trailer. What did you think of the Venom trailer before we move on here?
Do you even want to ask? I mean, literally, it's like you saw the Avengers. Why you even talk about Venom? I mean, people say it looks cool. Yeah, it does, but I don't trust Sony. Okay. I'm sorry. And I like Tom Hardy. I mean, I saw him in Mad Max, and I'm gonna tell you, I mean, it's like he did a hell of a job with that role, like picking up for what's his name, for the original
for Mel Gibson.
For Mel Gibson, he picked it up, and I thought he did great because he played him. Mel Gibson never really talked in any of them.
Right.
Same thing, and he did some good stuff. But as Eddie Brock, I don't know if I combine him as Eddie Brock.
They completely changed the backstory on it. Like, this is not the Eddie Brock that we know and love. Okay, I mean, like, you could tell he's an investigative reporter. He looks like he has some sort of morality to him.
Isn't Eddie Brock a reporter too, and he got screwed by Peter?
Right, but exactly. Brock in the books wasn't a good guy. He was
he was pissed off at Peter.
Yeah.
He was an anti-hero at best.
Right.
Just honestly, when he changed, I almost started laughing when I saw that final Venom.
So it's not just me. I thought that the people are like, oh my god, it looks amazing. I'm like, no, it doesn't look amazing.
I still remember the
Spider-Man 3.
The Spider-Man 3 with Foreman. I mean, literally, I can't even call him Eddie Brock. I call him Foreman. It's just like that's such a bad Venom. I don't know how. I mean. Yeah, I don't know, but hey, who knows?
I kind of wonder. They're doing an outer space thing in this movie. You could see that. Why didn't they go the Flash Thompson route? Why didn't they go the Agent
Venom? That would have been so much cooler,
And you wouldn't depend on You wouldn't depend on Peter Parker's Spider-Man story,
right?
Right. This is like, I think that's the biggest thing is like Venom is such a part of the Spider-Man universe to not have any connection to it. People are I think there's a spider on his chest. Like, where'd the spider come from?
Right.
Like it's ridiculous.
Because your name is Venom, but you got a spider on your
exactly.
It's like, okay, what's But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah. Back to the picks.
Yeah. Again, Donny Cates. I mean, it's like literally, it's like every other word I say is Donny Cates. But he's finishing up his run on Doctor Strange, and as always, doesn't let down. It's a great read. Definitely. Trade paperback, both Thanos and Doctor Strange once the books are coming out. They were solicited, so you'll see them within the next month. Definitely must reads. And then once he leaves the book, you got the relaunch with #1 with the Mark Waid, which I'm like, okay, it can't be that bad. You know what I mean? And then for me also, I mean, I love Darth Vader, and dude, it's Kylo Ren should read this book. In my opinion,
and learn
learn how to be a badass. I mean,
pay attention to Grandpa,
because this book Vader is just. I mean, you always wonder, it's like, how can you write a book about a bad guy? Because bad guys don't necessarily last, but is Vader a bad guy, or he's just? But this book is insane. The first run was good. The second run is insane. You're seeing so much background on the whole Star Wars universe, which I'm sure they'll it's part of the canon thing,
Yeah.
and you're seeing, you see the Mon Calamari, Akbar, and you see all this stuff, which is great. I'm loving it. Now they announced the new cartoon, Star Wars Resistance. For DC for this week, I mean, I finished reading Wonder Woman, and Robinson didn't let me down with that storyline. There's a little too much love in it for me, but and you can see the setup for the Dark Side and the Justice League books, which I'm like, okay, but we'll see. And then, dude, there's one book that I just picked up reading the last maybe 3-4 issues, which is the Suicide Squad book. Dude, it's actually pretty good. It's violent as hell.
Well, I read something.
And Amanda Waller is, I mean,
she's evil.
Woo, she is not. She's no joke. No. I mean, far cry from what she was in the Suicide Squad movie. I mean, and it's such a ruthless book. I mean, Williamson, I think he's been on it from the beginning, I believe, or for at least for a while. And I've been reading here and there, but the last, I'd say, maybe 5-6 issues has been a hell of a story arc. It's like the deconstruction of the Suicide Squad. I mean, definitely a read, guys.
I read somewhere that they're like wrapping up this iteration of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so they're, I mean, dude, they're going on. I don't know what they're gonna do after that, but this is Suicide Squad's been a really good read as of late.
Anyways, guys.
Again,
he's had enough. That's gonna do it for us this week.
I'm with DJ's Universal Comics on Instagram, and click. And every Wednesday I do the quick new release video. What's on the table?
But smash that like button. Let us know what you think in the comment section. And Kat, take us away.
Put the iPad down. Get out. Support local comic book stores wherever you're at. Read comics. Put the iPad down.
See you next time.